and welcome to The Print. I'm Akshaya Nath, Senior Assistant Editor, and I bring you my story, how Tamil Nadu topped Niti Aayog's Export Preparedness Index became top investment destination. Stable governance and politics, sector-specific policy, interventions, and prompt actions. This is what officials and experts claim has helped Tamil Nadu thrive as a major investment destination in India. July saw the state top the third edition of the Modi government think tank Niti Aayog's Export Preparedness Index for 2022. The index measures the export performance and potential of the Indian states and union territories and factors in, among other things, the direct and indirect aspects that support it. Tamil Nadu's performance in 2022 was an improvement from the previous year when it was placed fourth on the list. The same year, the state had been ranked third in the implementation of the central government's Business Reform Action Plan 2020, a list of 301 reform points covering 15 business regulatory areas. This was a significant leap from the 14th position it had secured in 2019. Tamil Nadu also became the top exporter of electronics in 2022-23 according to the central government's National Import-Export Record for yearly analysis of trade data. It now accounts for 22.8% of India's electronic exports, with figures tripling to 5.37 billion from 1.38 billion according to media reports. For Tamil Nadu's Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam government, which swept to power in 2021, this comes as a massive shot in the arm. Although the state has always been counted among India's most industrialized, this is the first time it has topped the EPI charts since Niti Aayog began releasing its assessment report in 2020. Officials and experts the Print spoke to said policy interventions have helped the state emerge as a destination for investments, both domestic and foreign. According to M. Suresh Babu, a professor of economics at the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, Tamil Nadu doesn't have a single overreaching policy to help push its industry. Instead, it tailors sector-specific policies by identifying sunrise sectors, businesses or sectors with potential for rapid growth, Babu said. For example, immediately after COVID-19 in 2021, there were efforts to increase the production of medical devices. Similarly, the state has in a big way focused on the electric vehicle industry. The state already has advantages in this sector as it has a strong automobile industry. Now they are further enabling a transition to EV vehicles by a very specific set of policies, the economist said. TRB Raja, the state's Minister for Industries, Investment Promotion and Commerce, attributes the state's success to several corrective measures and the Dravidian model, a governance model that, according to the DMK, involves inclusive planning and democratic governance for ease in approachability, policy making and action. According to the minister, the state government's policy interventions have helped bring investment to the state. In 2022 alone, the minister says that the government had released the aerospace and defense industry policy, footwear and leather products policy, life science promotion policy and research and development policy. In 2023, the state has released a new EV policy and a logistics policy for transporting goods and services. These new policies and other smaller policy tweaks, along with streamlining processes in industry-focused department, has led to good results, Raja told the Print. The most recent success to the state's policies was the Taiwanese electronics multinational Foxconn's signing of an agreement to invest Rs 1,600 crore for a mobile components manufacturing facility in the state's Kanchipuram district. Best known for manufacturing Apple's iPhones, the company's new facility will reportedly be distinct from its existing facility near Chennai and is expected to generate 6,000 new jobs. The development comes amid the DMK government's aggressive push to attract global industrial businesses to the state, according to officials from the state's Industries Department. Officials also cite the state government's accessibility, and quick response for its success. According to S. Krishnan, Tamil Nadu's additional chief secretary of the Industries Department, it is seen that his department's goal has been to ensure that the companies that set their base in Tamil Nadu are comfortable. This means supporting industries through their life cycle in the state. The existing investors have to do well in order to the state to do well industrially. They are our best ambassadors for attracting other investors into the state, said Krishnan. We ensure the issues are addressed and whatever promises in terms of incentives and government grants, clearances, etc. are done with the least difficulty, Krishnan added. Industries Minister Raja relates to these instances of intervention. At a round table on July 16th this year, the representatives of some EV companies suggested tweaks in the state transport department's licensing policy for registering EVs. We immediately brought this to the attention of the CM. Within 12 days, just 12 days, the policy was changed and a government order was passed, Raja said. According to R. Ganapathy, a national executive member of the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI, companies want two things: for their concerns, both present and future, to be heard and for them to be addressed. The M.K. Stalin government seems to have really hit the road running very well with these two things, he told the print, adding that the state's educated young force, law and order control, and infrastructure are assets that have helped its performance. Along with policy interventions, officials and industry experts credit the DMK government's restructuring of a nodal government agency guidance to help improve ease of doing business in the state. Established in 1992, Guidance is an agency that, according to its website, is mandated under the Tamil Nadu Business Facilitation Rules to help promote and encourage investments in the state through round-the-clock support. According to government officials, the agency, which had only 8 officers until 3 years ago, now has a team of 60 members. The recent boost to the Industries Department and the jump in ranking for ease of doing business and making Tamil Nadu a preferred destination has been a direct reflection of Guidance's work, said Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Guidance, Vishnu Venugopal, to the print. It was through this that M. Ponnuswamy, Chairman and Managing Director of chemical company Pun Pure Chemicals Private Limited, secured a no objection certificate for a project that had been stuck for 3 years. Ponnuswamy, also Confederation of Indian Industries South Region Chairman for Ease of Doing Business and MSME Committee, told the print that he registered a complaint with BizBuddy, a round-the-clock help desk for the industry introduced 2 years ago on the Guidance website. The very next day, I got a call from a representative stating that they will come down the following day for inspection. In another 30 days' time, the whole process was completed, Ponnuswamy said. Since it was introduced, BizBuddy has had 325 grievance redressal calls, of which it has resolved 308, its website shows. According to Additional Chief Secretary of Industries, Krishnan, most minor issues get resolved in 2 to 3 weeks. The complicated cases or legal issues take more time, but we ensure a constructive solution to those as well, he said, adding that his department had a very process-driven system. Consistency from state governments. But it is not just the ruling DMK government's policies that are responsible for the state's success. According to experts like Suresh, part of the reason for the state's investment growth is relative stability in politics and governance. Suresh told the print that the state's policies remain consistent regardless of which of the two major Dravidian parties, the incumbent M.K. Stalin-led DMK or the rival All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam AIADMK, is in power. A serving senior IAS officer who didn't want to be named agrees. In 1995, Ford and Hyundai first started talking to the AIADMK-led Tamil Nadu government, but even after the government changed in 1996 and DMK came to power, the projects continued and whatever was promised was delivered, the officer told the print. He also added that the support for the state's industries has been consistent from both the ruling governments. Since it came to power, the state's DMK government has been trying to project the state as an investment destination. CM Stalin has undertaken two official foreign visits, a 4-day trip to Dubai in March 2022 and a 9-day trip to Japan and Singapore in an attempt to woo investors. The opposition, however, has accused Stalin and his family of corruption to the tune of rupees 30,000 crore and has called the CM's foreign visit the DMK first family's personal trips to park their ill-gotten gains. The DMK has dismissed the claims. The AIADMK, under the leadership of former Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha, was the first to conduct a global investment meet in the state, and former CM Edappadi K. Palaniswamy carried forward this tradition. AIADMK had a good track record, and that is why investors kept coming to Tamil Nadu, said former MP J. Jayavardhan to the print. In response, DMK's Raja called the previous AIADMK government under Palaniswamy incompetent, adding that they had made a mockery of the state in front of the industry. Tamil Nadu, he claimed, was already seeing the impact of the visits and is confident of moving new projects from agreement stage to production in 9 to 12 months. Under the leadership of Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, we are confident that 80 to 85% of the MOUs we signed will get grounded in a time-bound manner, Raja said. According to experts, national rankings are subject to change, and therefore it's not uncommon to see industrialized states such as Gujarat, Maharashtra or Karnataka moving up and down the list. What matters, according to them, is converting a promise into investment. Tamil Nadu's USP has been that they have been able to convert the promises into actual investment. IIT Professor Suresh Babu, quoted earlier, said. Additionally, they have been able to improve their infrastructure. They were once global players in textiles, but now they have managed to expand into other sectors as well. This is something that other states are still striving to achieve. According to Raja, the state is now focusing on EVs and green energy. EV is definitely a major sector for us, and with the state's electronic manufacturing output increasing, it will naturally pave the way for us to becoming the EV capital of the world, said Raja. Another key sector is aerospace and defense, an industry that builds aircrafts, ships, spacecrafts, weapon systems, and defense equipment. Last year, Stalin unveiled its Aerospace and Defense Industrial Policy 2022 with an aim to attract investment up to rupees 75,000 crores. Besides these, the state also hopes to have a major hub on fintech and medtech industries, the Tamil Nadu minister said. The state government has earmarked rupees 100 crore in 2023-24 budget for global investors meet that it will organize in Chennai in January next year. It has also allocated rupees 410 crore for new industrial parks in Virudhunagar, Vellore, Kallakurichi and Coimbatore. The industry, meanwhile, wants the government to focus on creating more special economic zones, SEZs, and SIPCOT industrial complexes. While SEZs are zones that special businesses and commercials and laws aimed at encouraging investments, SIPCOT, or the State Industries Promotion Corporation of Tamil Nadu Limited, is an entity of the state government that is tasked with setting up industrial parks in the state. There are many private players who are interested to enter Tamil Nadu, and they are hoping that the state will bring in more SEZs and SIPCOTs like setup, said Ponnuswamy to the print. That's all I have for you on this edition of the State Draft. I'm Akshaya Nath, Senior Assistant Editor, and do tune in to the print for more such stories.